Stop scrolling. Your thumb is already hovering over her chat bubble, about to fire off that one last text you swear will fix everything. But before you do, ask yourself this: why does a message you haven't sent yet already feel humiliating? In the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna rip the mask off that urge, show you why every "hey, just checking in" secretly lowers your value, and hand you a move so counterintuitive it feels illegal. Silence that makes her chase. Miss a single frame and you'll slip back into the same predictable pattern that's killing your attraction. Stay and you'll learn the quiet leverage that flips the power dynamic without a word. Your choice: hit send and stay stuck, or watch to the very end and reclaim the upper hand. You know that itch in your chest that tells you to just send one message? Just a "hey" or a "how are you?" or "I saw this and thought of you." It's not about her, it's about you. You're not texting to connect. You're texting to calm that storm inside you. That little voice that says, if I send this, maybe she'll reply. Maybe I'll stop feeling this way. It's like taking a painkiller, not to heal the wound, but just to stop the hurt for a moment. When someone pulls away, especially a girl you liked, it creates this uncomfortable silence, this big unknown. You start playing back every word, every text, trying to find where it went wrong. And because your brain hates confusion, it craves closure, and your thumb goes straight to your phone, because in your head, if she just replies, if she just says something nice, that feeling will go away. But that's not how it works. Every time you reach out just to check in, she feels it. Women are incredibly good at sensing your emotional motives, and if your message is loaded with need, with "please notice me again" energy, it drains you. Not only does it not work, it lowers your value in her eyes. Texting to fix a feeling is like trying to win her back by bleeding on her doorstep. You're not showing strength. You're showing that her silence has power over you, that she lives in your head, that you've paused your life just in case she turns back around. And worst of all, you're not even giving yourself a chance to breathe. You're not letting yourself get stronger from this. You're staying stuck in the same loop, waiting for a hit of dopamine that may never come. So when I say don't text her again, I don't mean to punish her. I mean to finally free yourself from using her as an emotional band-aid, because the day you stop reaching for that phone is the day you start reaching back into your own life. And when that happens, she might look back and realize something's changed, but more importantly, you will. Alright, let's break this down, because I know exactly what happens in your head when she starts pulling back. You think, did I say something wrong? Maybe she's just busy. Maybe she's testing me. And suddenly you're analyzing every little thing. The way she said okay, how long she took to reply, her last Instagram story. You're trying to solve her like a puzzle, as if figuring her out will make her come back. But here's the truth, man. She's not a puzzle. She's a signal. When she pulls back, that's not her inviting you to decode her. That's her telling you something. And most of the time, what she's telling you is, I'm not feeling it like I used to. Now I get it. That's a hard pill to swallow, because if you're anything like me, your instinct is to try harder, to say the perfect thing, to fix it. But here's where most guys go wrong. They see her distance as some kind of hidden message. They think, if I just crack the code, I can win her back. But bro, that's not how it works. Women are not complex riddles. They're emotional creatures. They move away from what doesn't excite them and towards what does. So when she starts replying dry, cancelling plans, not initiating anymore, that's not a mystery. That is the message. And the worst thing you can do is start chasing that silence like it owes you an explanation. The truth is, when a girl is interested, you feel it. You don't need to overthink. And when she's not, you feel that too, but you just don't want to accept it. So instead of trying to decode every cold text, ask yourself, why am I trying to convince someone to like me again? Because every time you treat a pullback like a puzzle to fix, you're putting yourself below her. You're giving her power she didn't even ask for. And here's the twist. When you stop treating it like a puzzle, when you stop reacting, she feels that. And it's in that moment, sometimes, that the signal switches back. But even if it doesn't, you still win, because you stayed grounded. You didn't chase a ghost. You read the signal and moved like a man. You think you're keeping the connection alive by texting more, but you're not. You're slowly draining the charge out of it, like leaving a flashlight on during the day. Pointless, and when night comes, it's dead. Here's what's actually happening when you keep texting her. You're not texting to build the bond. You're texting to keep yourself from feeling uncertain. You're trying to fix something inside you, not between you and her. That need to check in, that's your discomfort, not hers. And every time you text without any reason except, I hope she responds, you lower your perceived value without realizing reversing it. You're not giving her something to chase. You're reminding her she doesn't have to chase anything at all. It's like this. If someone keeps handing you free samples every time you walk by, you stop thinking it's special. You just nod and move on. But the thing you had to wait for, the one you weren't sure you'd get, that sticks with you. Every message you send just to keep her attention tells her you're trying to keep her. And women don't stay for men who try to keep them. They stay for men who seem like they could leave. And maybe you don't say that directly, but your frequency says it for you. You think you're being sweet, consistent, present. She reads it as predictable, emotionally needy, always available, and the truth is, she doesn't even need to open the message to feel it. The moment her screen lights up and sees your name again, a part of her brain already files it under "he's still there." Now ask yourself, when was the last time she wondered about you? That's the moment you lost, the moment you filled the silence too soon. And silence, my friend, is not the enemy. It's the space where value breathes. So yeah, texting more, you're not showing love, you're showing fear. Alright man, let me tell you something most guys never really get. You know what silence does? It messes with her head in a way your words never could, because we're not wired to be okay with not knowing. When things are clear, our brain relaxes. But when something is missing, when there's a gap, that's when the brain starts spinning. Now apply that to you and her. You stop texting, you don't say why, you don't disappear with drama. You're just gone, quiet. And in that silence, her mind starts building stories. Is he over me? Is he busy? Is he with someone else? Why hasn't he said anything? And that's where the magic starts, because attention follows curiosity, and curiosity only exists when there's uncertainty. Look, when she knows you'll text her the next morning, she stops thinking about you, because there's no reason to. You're already known. You're the guy who's always there, always explaining himself, always trying to keep the connection going. But the moment she doesn't know where you stand, now she feels you. You didn't chase, you didn't explain, you just left space, and that space is what makes you start living in her head. You know what's ironic? You become louder in her mind by saying nothing at all. That's why silence isn't weakness. It's not avoidance, it's power, because it flips the roles. You stop being the guy trying to get answers from her, and suddenly, she's the one wondering about you. That's not a game, that's just how the human brain works. We chase what we can't predict. We obsess over what feels slightly out of reach. So yeah, silence. It's not empty, it's loaded. Alright, listen to me for real on this one. You stop texting to come back to yourself, because when you're in that zone, waiting for her replies, overthinking every message, checking if she saw it, rereading the last thing you said, you're not in control anymore. You're not even really present. You're in her orbit, and every second you stay there, your value drops, in her eyes, and even worse, in yours. It's like this. Texting her constantly, hoping for a reaction, is like handing her your emotional remote control, and every time she delays her reply, you flinch. Every time she replies dry, you question yourself, and every time she ignores you, you shrink. That's not you. You're supposed to be the one creating gravity, not floating in hers. So when you stop texting, it's not a tactic, it's a recalibration. You're not going silent to get her back. You're going silent to get yourself back. You stop needing her response to feel good. You stop chasing dopamine hits from her little scene check marks. You remind yourself, my value doesn't live in her phone. My worth isn't in her reaction. And here's the beauty of it. When you unplug from her world, you plug back into your own. Suddenly you're sharper, clearer. You start moving with purpose again. You start seeing her differently. You realize how small she became when you stopped making her the center of your thoughts. So yeah, you stop texting not to make her miss you, but to remember you never needed her attention to feel whole in the first place. And once you're in that state again, that's when the game really changes. And now you might say, but what if I stop texting and lose her? But what should I do after I stop? Are you sure I should stop? Isn't there any side effect if I stop? These doubts and questions can all be answered with one sentence. You always win. Let's break this down together, but I want you to really sit with this one, because it's the part where most guys finally breathe out and go, oh, I'm actually safe no matter what happens. Here's the deal. When you stop texting her, really stop, not pretend to, there are only 3 ways this plays out, and every single one of them, you win, genuinely. First possibility, she comes back. She starts texting again. She gets curious. She wonders why you're quiet, because silence makes people reflect. And when you stop being available, she starts noticing the space you used to fill. She might test the waters again. Hey, how have you been? Or even a random meme. It doesn't matter how she does it. What matters is she's the one reaching out. That already shifts the dynamic. Now, you're in control again. You've got the leverage. You can choose what to do next, from clarity, not craving. Second possibility, she doesn't come back, but you stop caring. This one hits deeper than it sounds, because at first you'll feel the silence like a punch. You'll check your phone. You'll get restless. But then, something beautiful happens. You forget to care. Your energy comes back. You laugh more. You start focusing on your life again. Your goals goals, your purpose, the version of you that was buried under constant waiting. And suddenly, one day you realize, I don't even want her anymore. You win because you've emotionally outgrown her. And that's the kind of win no one can take from you. Third possibility, she doesn't come back. And yeah, it stings a bit, but now at least you know. You're not in that limbo anymore, guessing, hoping, wasting mental energy. You've got your answer, and sure, maybe it's not the one you wanted, but it's honest. Now you've cleared the space for someone who does choose you. That's peace, that's power, that's growth, and most importantly, that's freedom. So whatever happens, you end up stronger. Whether she returns, you move on, or life gives you clarity, you win because you acted from self-respect, not desperation. And once you learn to walk away like that, you'll never beg for breadcrumbs again.